Okay, so students, in the previous lecture we have studied the general introduction about reproduction, in which we discussed about asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction both in plants and animals. So in today's lecture we will start with sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Second chapter under the unit reproduction. In our previous standards, we have studied that when it is sexual reproduction in animals, they have special reproductive systems called as male reproductive system and female reproductive system. Or they have, when we talk about the lower animals like earthworm, they don't have reproductive system, they have reproductive organs, that is testes and ovaries. So when plants perform sexual reproduction, what is the unit of sexual reproduction?
Flower.
Correct. So, about the structure of the flower means about the walls of the flower. We've already studied in the chapter morphology of flowering plants. So, in short, talking about the four walls of the plant flower. What is flower? Can we define it? Is it the modified shoot with a definite growth? It is a modified shoot with definite growth. It has two main walls, structures, parts, that is non-essential walls and essential walls. So the non-essential walls are calyx and corolla. Calyx is a group of sepals and corolla is a group of petals. What are their functions? Now I'm not drawing the diagram. ये हमने already chapter में किया है. Okay, you know what is calyx and what is corolla. So calyx का main function है, as it is the outermost wall. It is the outermost wall, protection of the inner walls. Second, it provides nitrogen-rich compounds for the pollinated ovary. For the pollinated ovary. Okay. Second, corolla again, as it is the outer wall to the essential structures, it is also responsible for the protection, and second, attractive in colors, so it attracts the insects for pollination. Then talking about essential walls, that is androecium of stamen and gynoecium of carpels or pistils, right? The group of stamens is called androecium. The group of carpels or the pistils is called gynoecium. This is a male reproductive structure. This is the female reproductive structure. I guess you've already studied this chapter in 12th botany part in the regular syllabus. So you have already studied the structures in detail, right? What is the stamen called as? Microsporophyll or megasporophyll? So stamen is again called as microsporophyll or microsporophyll. Anyhow you can say it as. And carpel is megasporophyll. So in today's lecture we are going to study about microsporophyll, that is about stamen, that is the parts of androecium. Okay, should we start? Before starting with it, in this chapter obviously we know that flower is the unit of sexual reproduction in plants. Other than this, flower is one of the very important part in human life to express our sentiments, emotions. Other than that, it is also one of the good agricultural product. The growth of ornamental plants to cultivate flower is called floriculture. What it is called? Floriculture. So what is floriculture? Growth of ornamental plants. Now what do you mean by ornamental plants? The plants which produces attractive flowers. which are used for decorations at many events. Okay, so that cultivation of the flowering plants in the agriculture is called as floriculture. Okay, flowers are one of the important means for offerings to the god to do our settlements, right? मुझे ये दो मैं वो दूंगा, you know, we keep flowers only ना, but उससे कुछ नहीं होता. समझ में आया? You need to work hard, then only all your wishes will come true. So flower is one of the important part of our life to express our emotions, to express our sentiments as a flower offerings to the god. But in this chapter we are going to discuss the role of the flower in sexual reproduction. So let us start about it. तो पहले हम क्या पढ़ने वाले हैं? Stamen, that is microspore. So talking about stamen. What is stamen is also called as? Which is nothing but male reproductive structure. It is made up of 3 parts. Let me draw the diagram directly. The lobe of the stamen is called anther, and the slender tube-like part is called filament. What it is? Filament. That makes a stamen. Now, stamen can be dithecous or ये कौन सा? What do you mean by monothecous? Theca means lobe of the anther. Theca means mono means is it having only one lobe in the anther? Which one is this? Dithecous. That is bilobed anther. Correct. In the bilobed anther, there is one more structure. Yes, we know these are the 2 lobes of anther, and the region where the 2 lobes are connected with the help of connective tissue is called connective. And again, this is so mostly angiospermic plants has dithecous anther, but in that China rose and lady's finger has monothecous anther. समझ में आया? Now talking about further details of the structure of anther. This microsporophyll, that is stamen, having anther, either one lobed or bilobed. Inside each lobe there are 2 pollen sacs. How many? 2 pollen. It is called pollen sac or pollen chamber or microsporangium. Remember this. The structure is called microsporophyll, and the sacs present inside its lobes are microsporangium. One है तो microsporangium, but I said एक लोब में कितने होते हैं? So we'll call it as microsporangium. Are you understanding? That is sacs chambers. समझ में आया? Any doubt? Now each pollen sac is protected by 4 layers in its wall. To protect the structures in the pollen sac called as microsporogenous cells that divides mitotically, to produce pollen mother cells, which are also called as microsporangia mother cells. They will divide meiotically to finally produce pollen grains, which are also called as microspores. What they are called as? Microspores. Students, ये तीन इसमें confuse नहीं होना है. What is the male structure called as? Male reproductive structure, microsporophyll. The pollen sacs present inside it, and inside each sac there are special cells present which will form pollen grains, that is microspores. समझ में? थोड़ा सेम सेम ही लगता है, रिवीजन के बाद हो जाएगा. And ये सब diagrammatically जितना लर्न करोगे उतना और अच्छे से समझो. I will show the diagram, but before that I have to study the flow chart. I said each lobe has two pollen sacs. So this is one lobe having two pollen sacs. So this is which type of anther? Monothecous anther having two locules. Having two locules. Sac जिस cavity में present है उनको हम क्या बोलते हैं? Locules. So I can call it as monothecous anther which is bilocular. Bi means two locules. But वही अगर dithecous है, it is having how many locules? 4. So I can call it as dithecous tetralocular anther. समझ में आया? Any doubt? Okay. अब हम इस एंथर का ट्रांसफर सेक्शन लेंगे तो हमें अंदर से ये स्ट्रक्चर दिखेगा. सो लेट अस स्टडी टीएस ऑफ एंथर. यहाँ पे मैं आपको टीएस ऑफ डाइथेकस एंथर दिखा. टीएस ऑफ डाइथेकस एंथर means having two lobes, means having four pollen sacs. Okay. TS of anther. कौन सा anther? Bilobe. That is dithecous. जब हम TS anther का TS पढ़ रहे हैं ना, ट्रांसफर सेक्शन कट के अंदर से दिखेगा. Means indirectly are we getting to see the microsporangia? That is pollen sacs. वही दिखेंगे ना. तो किसी किसी बुक में TS of anther की जगह पे TS of microsporangia भी बोलते हैं. Internal structure. Okay. So the TS of anther is roughly circular. Roughly now the TS of anther shows 4 layers of the walls. The outermost layer of the wall is called epidermis. Correct. And do not forget to show the nucleus, okay? That indicates these all are live cells, not the dead cells. ये minorities है आपकी डायग्राम में जो चेक किए जाते हैं. अगर आया आपको 3 मार्क्स के लिए डायग्राम या 2 मार्क्स के लिए डायग्राम, like you are studying it but talking about the board exam. बोर्ड एग्जाम में भी ये टॉपिक आपको है अभी 12th में. तो if they give you the diagram of TS of anther, do not forget to show this nucleus because these all are live cells. So which is the outermost layer of the wall of the anther. एपिडर्मिस के बारे में जो भी है इधर ही ब्रैकेट में देते हैं. Pay attention now and send this diagram. Shweta. So is it single layered? It is single layered and protective in nature. ये outermost है तो अंदर के स्ट्रक्चर्स को क्या करेगा? प्रोटेक्ट करेगा. Apart from that, if you see on the lateral side, is it showing some invaginations, inward growth? That is called as stomium. What it is called as? Stomium. Which is useful for the dehiscence of the anther. What? जब ये लोग burst होंगे तभी तो pollen grains will be released ना. तो dehiscence कहाँ से होता है? Stomium region से. Are you understanding? So it shows the presence of stomium that is useful for. What do you mean by dehiscence? Rupturing of the wall to release the pollen grains. Okay. एपिडर्मिस में ये 3 पॉइंट याद रखना. This is the first outermost layer of the wall of the lobes of the anther. Total कितने हैं? 4. Second, which is inner to epidermis. मैं अलग अलग पेन से निकाल. Yes, what it is? Endothecium. Good. Which is also called as hypodermis. Is it below the dermis? Inner to dermis. So it is also called as hypodermis. Now what is special about it? Endothecium is again, is it single layered? Yes. मैंने एक ही लेयर निकाला है. And it is hygroscopic in nature. What it is? What do you mean by that? Absorbs the moisture from the surrounding and helps in the dehiscence. जितना पानी अंदर आएगा, cell will swell and it will rupture, burst. Are you understanding? So absorbs moisture to help the process of dehiscence. Understood? Any doubt? Then talking about the third layer, that is middle layers, which are 1 to 5 layers. इससे पहले मैं अंदर के colon sacs निकाल. What these are represented in green color are? That is microsporangium. Gia. How many are there? 4 na? So these all are microsporangium. Okay. Microsporangia के around होते हैं special cell का layer, that is tapetum, right? So students, ये क्या है? माइक्रो network issue. So students, this is microsporangium, which has the outer layer, that is called, this is the 4th layer. Okay, first is epidermis, second is endothecium, third वाला मैं बाद में निकालूंगी. पहले मैंने 4th layer निकाला, that is tapetum. I will show it here and write it there. Tapetum. So tapetum is again how many layers? Single layered with special cells. Why? This single layer of the cells have dense cytoplasm with more than one nuclei. एक से ज़्यादा nucleus. एक से. So can you show me one? Are you understanding? So these have dense cytoplasm with and they are nutritive layer, means provide nourishment, nutrition to the inner with cells. Sporogenous cell, क्योंकि उससे microspores produce होने वाले हैं, pollen grains produce होने वाले. So instead of calling sporogenous cells, they are also called as, suppose these are microsporogenous cell. Okay, you can only call it as sporogenous cell also, but they are called as microsporogenous cell. that are future pollen grains. Okay. तो स्टूडेंट 1, 2 and 4 लेयर हो गया. थर्ड वाला, are you understanding? यहाँ पे सेल्स निकालते बट मैं डायरेक्टली सिर्फ लेयर्स निकाल. So it is what? Third one, that is middle layer of the wall of the anther. That is 1 to 5 layered and protective in nature. इसका काम भी क्या है सिर्फ प्रोटेक्शन करना. समझ में आया? Any doubt? So this is the DSA anther. इसमें और भी 2 पॉइंट बाकी. क्या? The 2 locules. ये 4 locules कितने हैं? 4. lobes कितने हैं? 2. The 2 lobes are connected by connective tissues, that is called as connective. Apart from that, here are some vascular fibers. What there are here? Any doubt? The TS of the anther. So you are supposed to draw this diagram in your notebook. I'll click the photo and I'll send on the group. Not now. In the TS of anther, we studied that if it is a bilobed anther, there are 4 pollen sacs. How many? 4. Now, each pollen sac has the layer around it, that is tapetum. Not talking about the tapetum in detail. It has dense cytoplasm and more than one nuclei. So, students, when internally the microsporogenous cells divide rapidly mitotically to form pollen mother cells, outside the tapetal cells are also doing something. What they are doing? Tapetal cells secrete some spherical bodies. Which bodies? That are called as ubiquitous bodies. What they are called as? Tapetal cells secretes spherical bodies called as ubiquitous bodies. When the pollen grains are formed, when the pollen grains, that is microspores, are formed, these ubiquitous bodies attach to outer surface of pollen grain to form the outer layer of the pollen, that is exine. Are you understanding? So exine is formed from the ubiquitous bodies, and these ubiquitous bodies, that means the spherical bodies, are made up of a chemical that is sporopollenin, which is a derivative of कैरोटिनॉल्स. प्लांट में पिगमेंट्स होते हैं ना, कैरोटीन, xanthophyll, तो कैरोटिनॉल्स से कौन डिराइव होता है? स्पोरोपोलेनिन. Sporopollenin forms the exine of the matured pollen grain, right? That is the matured microspore, which is secreted by the tapetal cells, special cells called as spheroid bodies. समझ में आया? Any doubt? Apart from that, I'll write this side. Is it visible? See. Again, I am writing from the starting. Pollen grains are the main gametes in the plants, flowering plants. So, pollen grains are mainly produced by microsporophyte, that is stamen. The microsporophyte has microsporangia, that is pollen sacs or pollen chambers, right? This microsporangia has the special cells inside, that is these microsporangia microsporogenous cells undergoes the process of mitosis. Undergoes the process of mitosis to produce directly microspores. Microspore mother cells, which are also called as PMCs, pollen mother cells, microspore mother cells. Okay. Then this PMCs, that is microspore mother cells, undergoes to produce microspores. In the form of tetrad. In the form of tetrad. Microspores means pollen grain. Microspore means pollen grain. So when the microspores are formed, they are in the form of tetrad. Initially, all the 4 microspores which will be diploid or haploid. meiosis से produce ये क्या है? So haploid tetrad of microspore is produced, right, from the pollen sacs. Initially, all the 4 pollens are attached to each other with the help of a substance that is callus. All the 4 microspores, that is haploid pollen grains, are attached to each other with the help of the chemical that is callus. Again, capital cells secretes the enzyme callase. Which enzyme? And they get detached. समझ में आया? And after dehiscence, they are individually released. Any doubt? तो capital cell के 2 way functions हैं. पहले तो वो force pollen grains को separate करते हैं by secreting the enzyme that dissolves the callus, and the 4 pollen grains are separated. Immediately they produce spherical bodies, that is ubiquitous bodies, and forms the exine of pollen grain. Any doubt? समझ में आया? The inner layer of the pollen grain, that is microspore, is called as intine, and the outer layer right? So what is this? Made up of? Secreted by? Tapetal cells, spheroid bodies. अभी पढ़ा ना? Tapetal cells produces spherical bodies called as ubiquitous bodies. They are attached to the outer surface of the pollen grain to form exine, which is made up of sporopollenin, which is a derivative of कैरेटिनॉल्स, राइट? लर्न करो. इतना डिटेल में नहीं है क्या बोर्ड्स में? क्या होता है? नीड टू चेक द टेक्स्ट. ओके. इनर लेयर इज in today's session we'll talk more about exine. So exine is the most resistant material, correct? What do you mean by that? It doesn't get affected by temperature changes, whether it is high or low, acidic condition, alkaline condition, moisture, humidity, etc. It doesn't get decomposed, it doesn't get degraded many years and years. So pollen grains are also a kind of good fossils. Kind of good fossils. Because it doesn't get degraded, decomposed, so their preserves, remains are used as fossils to find out the evolutionary history between the plants. So now if you see, intine is a continuous layer. What is the exine a continuous layer? Is it having a gaps in between? What those are? Correct. Germ pores. For what? ये मेल गैमेटोफाइट का इनिशियल स्टेज है ना, आगे जाके ये मेल गैमेटोफाइट बनेगा, पोलन ट्यूब डेवलप होगा एंड ऑल। तो पोलन ट्यूब विल ओरिजिनेट फ्रॉम द germ core region, क्योंकि अगर ये एग्जाइन इतना टफ है ना, एग्जाइन इज टफ, आई विल से थिक एंड रफ, एग्जाइन इज थिक एंड रफ, whereas entine is thin and smooth. Okay, any doubts till here? यहाँ तक समझ में आया? जो इनिशियल पॉइंट है उसके नोट्स पहले दे देती हूँ, बाकी जो डायग्राम पेज है वो आपको ड्रॉ करना है। ओके